Good afternoon, Coach. We'll get started with Kristen and then John.
Good morning, Doug. When we talked with you last night, you talked about the change of pace. That's why that you were rotating back and forth between Jalen Hurts and Carson Wentz for a couple of snaps. But we only saw Jalen for a few of those snaps. I'm curious why we didn't see more of that rotation, and if we will see more of that rotation in the future.
Well, as you guys watched the game, and of course, as we were, living it out real time, one of the things for us to, I guess, to use any of our personnel, and in this case, we're talking about Jalen and Carson. For me, it's about getting in a rhythm, getting into the flow of the game, getting in a consistent flow where we're positive on first down, which that particular sequence, I believe the first and 10 was right before the second quarter. It was, then it became a second down play, second and 10 actually went with Jalen. We had a false start, went to second and 15. We threw a pass to Alshon that was, a short route. Wasn't supposed to be a little bit deeper, went a little bit short. It was complete. Now we're 3rd and 8, I believe, and went back to Carson on third down, and it's kind of how the whole first quarter and a half went for us. Just no rhythm. And so for me, it's would I like to get into a flow and use Jalen, in a couple of situations? I think it's feasible. I think it's possible. It's been productive for us. But our first and second down production has to be better.
Go ahead, John, and then Zach.
Hey, good morning, Doug. To kind of follow up on that, and you talked about flow and rhythm. You played quarterback for a long time. Just your personal philosophy. If you were playing and somebody pulled you off for a couple plays, how would that affect you in getting into that flow and rhythm?
Well, it happened to me back in 1999. And so I have firsthand experience of that. And my philosophy is we do whatever it takes to spark the offense. You do whatever it takes to win a football game, be successful. And look, I mean, I know people may think it's different and you can't get a guy into a rhythm or whatever, but when you struggle as an offense, you're looking for ways to create some plays, and the struggles we had last night weren't from the quarterback position. It was a bunch of mistakes from all positions that caused us to not be as successful. But as far as the rotation goes, you'd like to be in a little more of a rhythm. If it were Jalen in there, maybe he goes a couple plays in a row, and obviously if Carson's in there, he takes the bulk of the action. So they're both professionals. They understand and expect nothing less.
Zach, and then Les.
Hey, good afternoon, Doug. On the topic of play calling, in the past, when we've asked you about those responsibilities, you've been resistant to giving them up. Is that still your position, or have you considered allowing a different coach to call plays as a way to try to spark the offense?
Zach, that's such a harsh question, man. You said use the word resistant.
Well, because
I take pride in play calling.
What's that?
Yeah, I know. I take pride in play calling, and I look at everything. I got to take everything into consideration, and if I feel like if I get stuck or in a rut, I definitely would consider giving that up. So it's definitely on the table. I wouldn't say that's off the table, but that's also part of sparking the offense and maybe seeing the offense through somebody else's eyes.
Go ahead, Les, and then Jeff McClain.
Hi, Doug. Speaking of sparking the offense, I think the thing that a lot of fans struggle with, I was rewatching the game just now. 20 minutes into the game, you had 4 yards of offense. I know you guys work really hard all week and plan, and you're competent people. Why? What is going on that this happens?
It's honestly it's a really good question, and I struggle with the whys, and you know me, I'm not going to sit here and throw people under the bus, and we can do that during the week of preparation and practice, and guys just have to understand the sense of urgency that it takes, to play a game and to prepare, not only coaching, but also players, prepare each week. It's a long season. The season's a grind, and it's a tough sport mentally and physically, and probably more so mentally than anything else. And it's frustrating because we do prep and practice and study and meet all week long, and coaches spend countless hours putting game plans together and trying to somehow come up with a plan that can beat your opponent, and then when whether it's execution or sometimes physically just get beat, it's a frustrating thing, and it's something that we have got to, again, if it goes back to simplifying game plans, we can keep simplifying as much as we can. We got a lot of moving parts. We've got a lot of moving pieces, particularly in the offensive line. And I alluded to that a little bit this morning on the phone, that continuity and the stability. And, that's also been an issue with us, and some young players on the perimeter, new targets that Carson is throwing to. So we're definitely not where we want to be. That's for sure. And we're going to continue to work to improve.
Thank you.
Jeff, and then Tim.
Doug, were you on board with the Jalen Hurts draft pick when it happened?
Yes, I was. Why?
Well, yeah, so because I'm wondering, because it hasn't really exactly played out the way you guys originally, at least the way that Howie originally said that he would be utilized on offense, and it seems to have undermined you to some extent and Carson Wentz.
No, I don't understand where you're coming from. Because we, every year we look at quarterbacks. Every year if we have an opportunity to take a quarterback, we're going to take a quarterback. At least look at the position. I mean, every position is looked at and studied, and wherever we can help and add talent and depth, we're going to do that. And the quarterback position is not exempt from that. And this is a sport where there's only one quarterback that plays, and Carson is that player right now, and we go to work, and we continue to coach Jalen, and we get him prepared if he has to go in and play.
Go ahead, Tim, and then Dave.
Doug, as you know, when teams go and start losing, the issue of job security comes up. I have a two-part question for you. First, have you received assurances that you'll be able to see through this season as head coach?
I haven't been reassured one way or the other. No.
Okay, and the second part is, do you feel like the way that things are going, that your job is in jeopardy, at least following this season?
Listen, I've been around this league a long time, 25 years, I believe, as a player and a coach, and we're always based on and we're evaluated on our performance. And right now, that's obviously not my concern as far as that decision goes. That's out of my hands. But what's in my hands and in my control is getting the team prepared and ready for Green Bay this weekend. So. I'm not going there mentally. I'm looking forward to playing again this week, getting back on the grass tomorrow with the players, and getting ready for Green Bay.
Dave, and then Bo.
Hey, Doug, along those lines, there's been some reports of mounting frustration from ownership. Curious what your interactions have been like recently with Jeffrey, and how much pressure are you feeling from the very top of the organization?
Our relationship is good. We have a lot of we communicate, a lot throughout the week. We have our typical weekly meeting and cover a lot of ground. But that relationship is good. And listen, some of these questions might be for Mr. Lurie, obviously, but look, my job is to prepare the team and get ready for Green Bay.
Oh, and then Rob.
Along those lines, Doug, has Jeffrey weighed in on the state of the quarterback position and how to handle that for the rest of the season?
No, he hasn't. And that, again, that's my decision. As the head football coach, and make a lot of personnel decisions. But this one is my decision if and when we make that change. But right now we're not doing that.
Rob, and then Jamie.
Hey, Doug, we've heard you take blame for what's happening. We've heard players take blame and ownership for what's happening. In your conversations with Jeffrey Lurie, how much responsibility has the front office taken for the personnel decisions that have contributed to you guys being in this position?
Rob, in those conversations are private. I'm not going to get into that. This is not the time, or the place to really get into those types of conversations.
Go ahead, Jamie, and then Martin.
Doug, you're always very optimistic with your team, as you should be. And as a guy who takes a lot of pride in the offense and your play calling, and a guy who's been a quarterback in this league for so long, you said, I can sense that it's really frustrating for you to not have the answers on how to fix the offense. Can you describe that frustration? Because that's what it feels like.
I've again, like I said, I've been around a long time, and the only way to fix the frustrations and to get out of and underneath this cloud that we're in or under, quite frankly, is to just continue to go to work and practice hard and continue to show on tape, whether the good, the bad, mistakes that are being made, make those corrections. And I mean, we've got a left tackle that this is basically, football's new to him, right? He's learning how to play this game, and a right tackle that doesn't have a ton of experience, but he's played and he's learning how to play the game. And gosh, we took, Hall, an all-pro left tackle, and he's given of himself to play right guard. And I mean, there's young people on the outside, and it's not perfect by no means. And we have to continue to work. And that's the only way I know how. There is no magic football play. There's no magic defense or special teams, or it's a matter of just going to work, during the week and climbing yourself out of it. And everybody has to take ownership of it. Myself, to the coaches, to the players. That's the only way I know how to fix it, and work ourselves out of it.
Martin, and then Ed.
Hey, Doug. A little earlier, you said that you would consider giving up play calling if you felt like you were in a rut. Do you feel that way, that you're in a rut right now? And also, do you think Carson is salvageable? What are you seeing as far as being wrong with him?
On the play calling front, no, I don't necessarily feel like I'm in a rut right now. I think that, as I said earlier, things are still on the table. And if I feel like I ever get to that spot, then I would consider, for a game, a half, or whatever, let somebody else do that. If that helps us win. And Carson, again, sal, that's a strange word. Yes, I do. I think that he's willing, he's wanting to fix not only the issues with him, but with the team and with the offense. And he's one of the hardest workers we got, and we're gonna work through it, and we're gonna battle through it, and we're gonna keep coaching hard and being accountable to one another, and working ourselves out of it.
We'll wrap it up with Ed and then Nick.
Hi, Doug. Just why the hesitation to not at least give Jalen at least one series? You took him out on the 3rd and 8. Why not let him see if he can kind of play his way through that? The team didn't have a first down to that point. Why go back to Carson in that situation?
That was just my decision at the time, honestly. That's it. That was my decision. I mean, I could sit here and look back on. I'm not going to hypothetical, and I'm not going to say it would have made a difference, but that was my decision.
Ned.
Hi, Doug. I know you guys have been frustrated with the things that you've done on offense that have kind of set you back behind the chains, the false starts and penalties and whatnot. But there was a time where you guys were able to overcome things like that. 3rd and long seemed to be like Carson Wentz's wheelhouse. It's not really that way anymore. Can you win with such a small margin for error?
Not right now. We can't. We can't be making these mistakes week in and week out and expect to win. I will say this, and no one's ever. You guys aren't even, talking about how well the defense played. Last night with the 2 huge couple of red zone stops, and all of that, and really how well they played to keep us in this football game, and still had, an opportunity. Whether it be an onside kick or you make the 4th and 4, whatever it is, you have an opportunity to still maybe pull out that football game. So, I know everybody's enamored with offense and as probably they should be, but this is a team sport, and we've got to be cohesive in all three phases, and play complementary football, and that's really something all season that we have not done.
Coach. Thanks, everybody.